Frida Kahlo was born July 6, 1907. We all know about her by now. I mean, she's on the cover of your textbook. But let's dive into the formal qualities she uses to convey meaning in her artwork. The two Fridas uses both implied lines and actual lines. The implied lines are where both Frida's knees are bent, and where both Frida's unibrows line up almost perfectly. The actual lines are the veins from the heart that are connected, the lines on the dresses, and of course their unibrows. The focal point in this piece is where the two Fridas are holding hands. This piece demonstrates the loneliness Frida Kahlo was experiencing when her and her husband separated. The color Frida uses, the white versus the brighter colors, show that she was trying to demonstrate the two different sides of her. The Frida wearing white shows light and innocence. The outfit she is wearing is supposed to show the European Frida, which shows her dress stained with blood and her heart incomplete. The Frida on the right has a locket with a picture of her and her husband Diego Rivera, and this Frida's heart is complete. This piece shows that Frida Kahlo has a double vision of herself. One Frida is heartbroken and the other is strong and in love. Frida painted Frida and Diego Rivera in 1931. In this piece, many of Frida's formal techniques can aid in discovering the meaning behind it. The main example of this is her use of scale. In the painting, Frida paints Diego in a much larger proportion than herself. This expresses how much smaller she feels than him, not only physically, but mentally. During her marriage to Rivera, Frida was known as Diego Rivera's wife, rather than Frida Kahlo. This was most likely what caused her to feel so small compared to her husband, leading her to use the scaling technique in this way. Rivera was the famous painter at the time, rather than herself, which is why she paints only him with a paint palette in his hand, while she stands smaller beside him. Frida also uses other formal techniques with the line of her unibrow, and her interesting use of human proportions when you compare the size of her feet to her hands. In the self-portrait with chopped hair, Frida is dressed as a man in Diego's clothes. She has scissors in her right hand, which shows that she had cut her hair all by herself. She cut her long hair because that was one of the things that Diego loved about her. She did this as a sacrifice. She painted this after they had gotten divorced. On top, the words say, "See, if I loved you, it was for your hair. Now you're bald. I don't love you anymore." After the divorce, she stopped wearing her colorful dresses and started wearing men's clothing. She got rid of her feminine side to show that she did not need a man. Finally, we have the unsettling painting called Without Hope. Frida uses several different elements to create her unique piece. It shows a visual of her trapped in bed with an amalgamation of gruesome objects directed to her mouth to represent the experience of being force-fed. She uses the color red to draw your attention to the, thing. Its bright colors against the bare background makes the monstrosity pop. The gooey texture of the organic shapes represent how unwanted and sickening the force-feeding was. These elements work together to express how horrifying the experience was for her.